Hi everybody, if you don't know me already, my name is Kaylee. I'm a gut health nutrition coach and I help people to overcome chronic gut and digestive issues like constipation, bloating, gas, acid reflux, Crohn's disease, IBS, IBD, anything like that. And I use the principles of ancestral nutrition and some other holistic health principles to help people overcome their symptoms. And in today's video, I'm going to be talking about how to balance the effects of fall with diet and lifestyle. So this Saturday is going to be the fall equinox, and I thought I would talk more about how the seasons and nature affect our body, and particularly how the changes moving into fall affect our body, what common things can kind of get out of balance, especially if you're already prone to these symptoms. Hint, one of them is constipation. So if you are already prone to these things that tend to get thrown off in the fall, I'm also going to share some tips that you can use so that you can maintain balance and not get thrown off this fall. So I'll be sharing 5 common tips that really help to balance your life in the fall. And then I'll also be going into your diet as well. So I'm going to talk about what comes into season in the fall and why it's so beneficial to eat seasonally and how these certain seasonal foods will actually balance your mind and body as we move into fall. So I'm really excited for this video. I really love things that are more cyclical and nature and bringing that into health and gut health. So I am excited to talk about this. So before we get exactly into all this stuff I just talked about, I do want to let you guys know that I'm hosting a free live training tomorrow on how to have bowel movements effortlessly and daily. So if you're subscribed to my newsletter, follow me on Instagram or Facebook, anything like that, I'll leave all the links for those below too if you do want to follow me there, where I share stuff a little more regularly. You probably already know about this free training that I'm hosting, but if this is the first you're hearing about it and it's not, and you're watching it soon and it's not past Friday at 11 Pacific time yet, then you can go ahead and sign up for the live training. I will leave a link below so you can watch it, and I'll talk more about it at the end. But basically I'm going to be going over the things that helped me and have helped my clients to get to daily healthy complete bowel movements effortlessly after having constipation for years. So if you're interested in that, check out the link below, and I'll also talk about it more at the end. But anyway, back to the topic for today. So first, I want to talk about the effects of fall. So when fall comes around, we usually think of it being windier. It starts out warm, but it gets progressively colder. The days get progressively darker. So, it starts with the equinox, where it's an equal light for day and night, and then it's going to get progressively darker. So the windiness is very mobile and erratic and light, and then we tend to feel these feelings in our body and our mind too. This can lead to spaciness, anxiousness, just feeling fluttery or having a hard time slowing down. I really feel the last one. So then the beginning of fall, we can still feel some of the effects of summer. So if you're more prone to inflammation or rashes or heat buildup kind of symptoms, then you might still be feeling some of the summer feelings, depending on where you live and you as a person, really. But anyway, so this can manifest as acid reflux, indigestion, loose stools, pimples, rashes, swelling, irritability, and headaches are all kind of common symptoms for people that are just starting fall and have a lot of heat buildup from the summer. And then as the season of fall progresses, we get more of those airy, movement qualities with all the wind. So that can lead to gas or bloating or insomnia, things like that. Also, it gets drier and drier throughout fall. So it's common to get constipation, dry skin, dandruff, itchy rashes, things like that. I do want to note though, none of these things are common they are common. None of these things are healthy. These are just symptoms if you're not in balance, if you're not in a healthy place and you are prone to these. you're going to be extra prone to them in fall. It's never normal to be getting them all the time, or healthy to be getting these things all the time. But if you've struggled with some of these, you might want to just keep a little bit of extra attention going into fall to help with these. So for example, one of them was constipation. I used to struggle with constipation, but I have been like totally fine on that for 5 years. So I'm not worried about that going into fall. However, for me, I still struggle a little like mentally with kind of perfectionism, wanting to be the most productive possible. And I notice in the fall, I have a tendency to get a little bit like wanting to be too perfect, organize everything. I don't totally understand why, but that's something I notice I have not fully fixed and I still have a tendency towards. So going into fall, that is what I'm personally being extra aware of. Maybe you are prone to dry skin in the fall, so you want to take extra attention to that. So this really varies person to person. I want to emphasize this. I'm about to go into my tips on how to maintain balance in the fall, but I just want you to keep in mind that this is not something that you should just copy the tips or assume you're going to be prone to every single one of these. These are very general, and also where you are depends a lot too. So here in Southern California, we get barely any season variation. So the effects of the season are going to be a lot less intense than somewhere where you get like a serious all 4 seasons, hot summer, snowy winter, leaves changing kind of fall. So the intensity of the season near you and exactly how that is going to impact you. So another example of this is in the past, once I got really excited when I was thinking about fall and it was starting to become fall, and I was like, I'm going to start eating fall foods immediately right as it turns to fall. But the thing is, it was still pretty summery where I was living at the time, and it was hot, and I wasn't craving any of these fall foods, and they hadn't even really had a chance to come into season yet. So I just assumed, oh, fall, I'm going to get a bunch of squashes and make stews and like slow cooked meat and things like that. And it just didn't quite sit well with me that week because I wasn't ready for it. So take these things I'm saying to kind of pick up on patterns with yourself and your environment near you, but really personalize it to that. Don't just copy, figure out what works for you. Okay, so then the whole purpose in like maintaining balance, restoring balance, like in fall, is you want to bring more of those opposite qualities to the qualities of fall. So instead of this like airy, dry, increasingly coolness, we want to bring more like warmth later in the fall. We want to bring like heavy, moist, oily, smooth, stable, cloudy, dense, like a deep nourishment. We want to bring rhythm and routine into the fall. All of these will counteract the effects of fall. So, if it's very airy and light, if you have stability and a routine and rhythm in your life, and a little bit denser foods, that can really help to ground your body and really your mind a lot too. So, okay, let's get into the 5 things I want to tell you about to really help balance fall. So the first one is cleansing. So after you were coming out of summer, some people have more of a heat buildup. Also, we are exposed to a lot of toxins nowadays, and as much as we try, we still tend to get exposed to some toxins. So it is really a good idea to work on your detoxing, about twice a year, and fall and spring is kind of the best time. It's always good to make sure you're doing the basics like exercising, getting sun, sweating, and having daily bowel movements. Honestly, that will help you the most with detoxing and just minimizing toxin exposure. But it can be nice to give a little extra attention during this time. And I actually have an article where I go into how to detox, how to work with your body to get toxins out more regularly. And there's a lot of variations of things you can do in there. And many of them are like free or very simple things you can do as well. So it doesn't have to be this big whole ordeal. Anyway, I'll link that below if you want to look more into kind of what to do for detoxing. Also, if you're flushing toxins out of your body and you're doing this in the fall, it's really going to prevent you from getting sick going into the winter. Toxins are a major reason we get common colds, to try to get those toxins out. And if you just get ahead of yourself and really flush some out, you can avoid some colds. So that's another nice benefit of doing this. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's just a good practice to have. It helps prevent disease. It helps with your gut health a ton too. I do go over detoxing with my clients. So yeah, I'm just going to keep that brief because I have like a whole article on it. And if you want to hear more about detoxing, if you want me to go more into it in videos, let me know in the comments. I'd be happy to talk more about that. Okay, so number 2 is to slow down and rest more. So the cycles of nature affect our body. The days are getting slower, or the days are getting shorter, I mean. So it's actually very instinctual that our days should get shorter as well. So you might find that you want to sleep in slightly more, go to bed slightly earlier. You might find you need a little more rest. My favorite tip here that I was literally thinking when I was driving over here to film this video that I need to do is to cut more out of your day, like not overschedule your day. When you just have, say, 6 things instead of 8 major things you have to get done in a day. This is very relative. The amount of time things take varies so much. But just imagine your day right now and like 1 or 2 things got taken out. How much more relaxing is that, thinking about what you have to do in the day? You don't have to rush from thing to thing. You have more time. It's just so much less stressful. So my favorite tip here is to cut some stuff out of your day, or just decrease the frequency you do certain things, to make your life more calm. Let's see what else here. It can be nice to just kind of incorporate some more restful activities too, like walking, meditating, reading, taking a warm bath, anything kind of like that. Yeah, you just really want to bring a little bit more slowness, but also stability into this time, which brings me to the 3rd tip, which is adhering to a routine. So the stability of a routine, it shouldn't be something that stresses you out or that you have to rush from thing to thing, but just having some simple things like getting up around the same time, like starting your day with the same sort of thing. For me, I like to start with workout. Yeah, just having some rhythms and routines in your life can make you feel more grounded in this time that's just a little more airy, fluttery. Yeah, okay, so the 4th one is like oil massages. So this is really nice if you tend to get dry. Obviously, eating lots of oily, nourishing foods is gonna be, and by oily I mean like healthy animal fats, not like fried foods, but eating those nourishing fats, that will help a lot if you're prone to dry skin. But it can be nice to do some oil massaging as well. That is also very relaxing. Note here, you don't want to use any seed oils. You want to be using something that's very good quality. Think anything you'd put on your skin, you want to be the same quality you would eat. Obviously, some things might have like lavender or flowers in them that you wouldn't necessarily want to eat, but it should be the same quality that you would want to eat. So if you're not familiar with seed oils, I will link a video up above where I talk about the harms of seed oils and why you should avoid them. But yeah, so you can use like coconut oil, or I really like to use tallow, which is beef fat. I make a salve out of it, so I infuse different herbs into it and add a little beeswax so it smells a little bit nicer. But any kind of good quality oil or fat like that is a good option. Let's see. Okay, so the 5th tip is to eat a seasonal, hearty, fatty, nourishing foods. So this should be as you crave them. I am still craving peaches and cucumbers and tomatoes and lots of fruit right now, because it's technically still summer while I'm filming this. In a few days it will be fall, but still, you don't rush into this. Like, listen to your body. As you start to crave these foods, as they start to come in season, that's when you want to eat them. So fatty, like cuts of meat or slow cooked meats or braised meats, stews, soups, lots of warm foods like root veggies. You can start using pumpkin, bone broth, bone marrow would be really good too. Just think like nourishing, grounding, cooked, warm foods is what you're gonna want to go for. Avoid more like cold foods or like a bunch of raw veggies you don't really want, like dry foods. Even like astringent bitter doesn't really balance fall as well, but spicy, sweet, and sour do balance the fall better. Again, always listen to your own body, because the seasons aren't the only thing that affect us. Habits that we have do as well. So yeah, look at what's in season near you too. What grows around you tends to balance the effects inside of you as well. It's pretty crazy. So definitely look at what is in season near you. I've looked online. You can look at like sometimes farming websites are really good for this. You can figure out what like farmers are planting, or if you have a garden, you're gonna really know this well already. But yeah, so that's really good. I will link below. I have an article that's on this similar topic, but I have food lists in there as well. So I have like animal foods, like all the fall ones, and then I have like vegetables, like all the fall veggies for my area in California. So, you know, adapt it to your own area, but a lot of it will be similar. So if you want to see those food lists, or you just kind of like written things and you want to look at the article version of this video, I will leave that below if you want to check it out. Yeah, so that's kind of my last tip. I mean, these nourishing foods will feel really good. They will help ground your mind as well in fall. The having a little bit more fats this time of year will help prevent dryness. Yeah, so that's kind of the gist of it. So I guess I'll just kind of recap. The 5 main things to maintain balance in the fall are going to be doing some cleansing, slowing down and resting more, having a routine each day, using oil massages, and then eating seasonal, hearty, fatty, nourishing foods. Oh, one other thing I will add is avoiding using a heater can be good too. I would opt for putting on a jacket or bundling up over a heater, or using a fireplace if you have one, for as long as you can, especially if you're prone to dryness, because I've just found heaters kind of dry me out and make me feel uncomfortable. I also don't really need one because I have never lived somewhere that it really gets below like 25 or 30 degrees. But still, if you are prone to dryness, I would encourage you to try to use your heater less, or not at all even, maybe, depending on where you live. You'll probably find you get a lot less dry in the fall. Yeah, so that kind of wraps up the topic for today. But at the beginning of the video, I told you guys that I'm going to be hosting a free training tomorrow. So I just want to tell you a little bit more about that. So it's on how to have complete bowel movements effortlessly and daily. And in this training, I'm going to be sharing with you the same strategies, the same step-by-step approach that I use with my clients. This helped my client Jewel, who suffered with constipation for 3 years, overcome it and get to daily bowel movements in a month. This helped my client Peter, who had constipation for 5 years, get to having 1 to 2 bowel movements nearly every day in 6 weeks of working together. This helped my client Alexa, who had alternating constipation and diarrhea, get to 5+ healthy bowel movements that were totally healthy and regular, just 2 months into working together. Helped my client Mary go from 3 to 4 bowel movements a week to 5 to 7 bowel movements a week in 2 months. So these strategies really do help you heal constipation, and they actually work pretty darn quick for a lot of people. Also, I share things that I learned in my own journey. I think many of you know, but I had constipation where I was having about 2 to 3 bowel movements a week for 10 years, and now I have 1 to 2 nearly every single day, and have for 5 years. So I'm going to be sharing the 6 most common root causes of constipation and how to heal those. I'm going to be sharing the most common mistakes that I see people make that keep them constipated. I'm also going to be sharing 6 things that help relieve constipation quickly. So when you're in the process of healing those root causes, you can still have a little like natural help that's not going to get you all dependent while you're in that process. And then ultimately, I'm just going to be showing you how to have those complete bowel movements effortlessly and daily. So if you're interested in the training, it will be live tomorrow, and it will be at 11 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. So that's the west coast of the US. So adapt that to wherever you live. But yeah, it'll be 11 o'clock in the morning on Friday, and that'll be the 22nd of September, tomorrow. So if you want to join, all you have to do is sign up for my email list. I will have a link down below where you can sign up, and then you'll get an email after you sign up with the link to join the free training. And if you are like, I just found out about this, I'm not free that time, like I can't show up, don't worry, I will be sending a replay of it out via email as well. So if you can't make the time, but you still want the training, still sign up, because I'll be sending it to you and then you can watch it whenever it's a good time for you. But if you can make it live, I would encourage you to come live. I will be having a giveaway as well that is only going to be for the people that attend live. So one of the live attendees will win. They'll get to send me a day of food logs of what they ate, and I will be going over that for them. So totally free of charge. You'll get my input on a day of eating. So anyway, if you want to sign up, I would love to see you there. And even if you can't make it live, you can still get the training if you want. So yeah, just click the link below to sign up if you're interested in that. And thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you found it helpful. I hope you found it interesting. I really love this topic. So yeah, if you did, give it a like, subscribe if you want to see more stuff on ancestral nutrition and healing your gut. And if you know anyone else that you think might like this video, you can always share it with them. I always appreciate that a lot. Yeah, thank you so much for watching.